All right. Good evening, beautiful people. My apologies that y'all didn't get to hear the whole theme song. This is our first time in the studio running the show, so y'all gotta forgive us. I'm here in the studio. This is Rashida. That's crazy. Sorry about the theme music. We got y'all at the end. So this is Rashida filling in for Mr. Chairman himself, Ian Biddle. Him and Monique are not available this evening. So we have some awesome ABE members who are going to be filling in for the evening. It's going to be just as informative and just as entertaining. So please don't fret. We got y'all want to introduce yourselves and say what's up to the people?
This is your main man, 100 grand, Big Cream, Supreme Allah from ABE.
And we got Melly Mel. Shout out to Ian, Mo, and DC. We miss y'all. So the adults are away, so the children will play today.
Hey, I'm not a child. I'm not a child.
Come back safe. We miss y'all. Get back safe. All right. So first and foremost, we're going to start off with housekeeping. Get that out the way. Number one, we have a Feed the People meeting. As you all know, I'm the program coordinator for Feed the People. We had an awesome Feast of Ma'at celebration, and we are moving right into our Kwanzaa celebration. So we will be doing a planning session for that with our Urban Underground Fresh Place youth. That'll be happening tomorrow at 6 p.m. at Urban Underground. The address there is 4850 West Fond du Lac. This planning meeting is open to the public, so please feel free to come by with any ideas or suggestions you may have, or just come to find out more about what ABE and Feed the People is all about. Prem, did you want to talk about Study Circle last week?
Yeah, we had Sankofa Study Circle last week. It was pretty dope. We did chapters 4 and 5. We were supposed to do 6, but we got into this great discussion about liberation. During the time of Marcus Garvey and the Black Power movement. It's a great book that we're currently reading about the UNIA, Universal Negro Improvement Association, etc. We got to a great discussion about what do we do as far as building. We talked about Pan-Africanism in a way where people always say, well, we need to go back to Africa. We need to go back to Africa. We need to go back to someplace else outside of the United States. The question was, what do we do when we get to this other place? We listed a whole bunch of different places: Nicaragua, Oyotunji Village in South Carolina, different parts of the Caribbean, et cetera, et cetera. But it was like, okay, when we get there, what do we do? Yeah. Do we have a plane to get there? Yeah. Do we have a boat to get there or anything? Do we have an economic system set up? And the idea that was conveyed was organize. If you can't build it here, there's no way you can build it somewhere else. So the idea was focus on what it is that you're going to build at a particular time. We had a long discussion about that, as well as some other things that came in and out of the conversation. But that was the gist of it. It was like, okay, you want to go. You think location is really going to be the determining factor of whether or not you can build. It's the systems and institutions that you set up that's really going to be that determining factor. So it was pretty dope.
I think on that point, what was really interesting about the conversation was saying, sorry, just got distracted. We just got to wave through the window. What was interesting, though, I think what Ian had brought up was why were Black people back then so open to the idea of going back to Africa, when if you would say it today, like, yo, we're going to go back to Africa, people going to look at you and kind of laugh, like, we're not going back there. So I think that was a good point of bringing that up and just kind of conversing and seeing, you know, where do we need to start? And so we got a lot of work to do.
Indeed.
See, this is where we need that call-in piece. We're working on trying to figure out how we can get people to call in, because that's where we would love to have opinion and, you know, conversation from people that are out there listening. Shout out to everybody that's listening tonight. Much love to y'all wherever y'all at, on the phone, on the internet, wherever you are. We love y'all.
Sending text messages.
Okay, another update. ABE was in great representation last night at the Muhammad Mosque number 3 over on Titonia Avenue. They had their Savior's Day open mic and poetry event. It was outstanding. ABE definitely was represented in the building. We had Tony Marley, who did a poem, a beautiful poem, to set the tone night for the right for the night. Excuse me. So shout out to Tony. And then I followed behind him just talking about ABE and all the different programs we had. We had great responses. People were coming up to me after the show, asking me for information, contact info, emails, all that type of stuff. So thank you once again for them inviting us out. We love partnering with other organizations, and we hope to do more of that in the future. So that was good. We got anything else for housekeeping?
No, I want to say shout out to Muhammad Mas #3 in the Nation of Islam, and Brother David Muhammad, who came to the Feast of Ma'at last week and is always present at many of the different things and is supportive of ABE and is really supportive of collaboration with different organizations.
Much love, David. Hey, David, if you're listening. Hey. All right, so
what we doing tonight, Rashida?
Well, we've had several suggestions, and I'm just gonna let y'all take it away. Someone said that we could talk about religion.
Religion and liberation.
I like liberation better, I think. I think we can agree more on liberation stuff than we will.
Let's just go. Let's go right into it. Now let's go right into it. Last night we were having a game night. We were sitting up and we were playing. What were we playing? Cranium. That was like the most oppressive game of Cranium I've ever played. It was a bunch of, you had that know something white to really win at that game. They had you had to hum a song by the Beach Boys. I had to go in the other room and Google it or put it on YouTube to hear the melody, and then some people knew what it was. But I'm just saying. So let's get right into it. Last night we had this conversation about there was one sister who said her family member constantly says that she is going to end up marrying a white man because there is just a lack of good prospects in the city of Milwaukee. For if a black woman wants to be with a black man, there's a lack of good prospects. Or brothers be in prison, or brothers be on a down low, or they don't really deal with black women for whatever reason. For whatever reason, and that's just it. I don't know what it is. We can get into religion. We just got a text message from the chief of staff, so we can get into that in a minute. But I just want to get into this real quick before we lose time and don't have time for it.
So what do you want to know?
No. The question is, let's just get into it. I mean, why? Because sister was asking me, do you have any friends? Do you have any friends that are good quality, et cetera, et cetera? And I really didn't know what to say. So, what are your requirements, and what are
my requirements?
I'm just putting it out there.
Okay, well, I definitely get really frustrated when people say that there's a lack of black men, because then my response to women when they say that is, what are you trying to do to uplift our black men? I never hear women saying, there's a lack of good black men. What can we do to elevate our men, to empower our men, to inspire our men to be the type of men that we want them to be? They say behind every good black man, there's a strong black woman or a good black woman. So I believe that as a black woman, it's my responsibility to help a man to get to the place where he needs to be. And I don't have a problem with doing that. However, it's not my job to constantly belittle and bash a man when I feel like he's not at a space where he needs to be without first offering solution. So to women that say that, whoever they may be, and that's no offense to anyone if they're listening, ask yourself, what are you doing to be the best woman that you can be for these no good men out here, or these good men out here, period.
Although I love Rashida.
I love you too.
I love my sister Rashida.
Let's go.
But I think there's some... there's a lot of truth to what you say. So, there's always this conversation of there's not enough available black men in the city of Milwaukee, and I wish Ian was here because he could throw out all these statistics of how many black men are in, are in jail and all this other stuff. Now, when you say, though, we have a responsibility to build up our black men, I totally agree with that. But when women are out looking for compliments and then you try to extend these ideas on what you can do better, that can be received as you trying to change me. So what do you do there? We're having these conversations, and so we're looking, and people say they have requirements, they have standards of this, that, and the other. But I could testify to just being in Milwaukee and not even having basic just women needs, met. Just come up and talk to me, say hello, how you doing, things of that nature, to ask you out or something like that. Like, not even going to, you have to have $50,000 or all this other stuff. I think the question is that you know, most of the men we're surrounded are either attached or we're like brothers and things of that nature. But I think the question is more of, so how do brothers assist brothers? Like, we can't always just look at women to be the ones to, you know, help that man become a man. They have to, where is that brotherhood? Where is that brother, you know, that's going on to help each other out? Because it can't be perceived, to me, it can't be perceived like, oh, I'm trying to change you to be better because where you at, you know, you can do that. I think that's great to do, but where's the accountability and responsibility to them?
I hear that, but I know men well enough to know that where women go, 9 times out of 10, a man will follow. You know what I mean? Like women, Supreme, fix your face. Supreme, fix your face. In saying that, women do not give themselves enough credit for the power and influence that they truly have over men. And so, yes, there has to be an accountability piece for the brothers. And yes, another man has to say, hey, yo, look, dog, you need to be doing something totally different. You need to be taking this route. You need to be studying. You need to be doing more to liberate your people. You need to stop being a negative statistic. You need to go take care of your kids. You need to, whatever it is that this man may not be doing or may be doing. But in the same token, if you put a woman in front of him and say, look, I'm this woman. Supreme, fix your face. You know, Supreme finna get put out the studio, everybody. Say bye to Supreme. He finna get put up out of here. What, Supreme? What do you need to say?
No,
I'm just saying, I think that in this society, and I'm just talking about the men that I know, I'm talking about the different facets of religious men from college, men from the neighborhood, men from all these different places that I know, they tend to be more influenced by women than they do by their fellow brother or their fellow friend or their homie. It's some things that a woman can influence a man to do that a man would never be able to influence a man to do, solely because she's a woman. That's all I'm saying, Supreme. Do you not agree with that?
No, that's cool. That's cool. Okay. I understand. I think it's very true, and I think there's a lot of that happens for a lot of very ill reasons. First and foremost, we have a lot of brothers in our community who were raised by women by themselves and don't really have strong male influences in their life. Mm-hmm. So some of the things that you should probably be learning from a man, you're not. And you're getting it from television, or you're getting it from maybe some aunts or some female cousins or your mother's perspective on how she thinks things should go, and you're not really getting it from another man. So yeah, a lot of times the things that influence men are the things that they get from women. Another thing is which part of the man is being led by the influence of the woman, as well as like, oh, if I do this, she give me some. If I do that, she give me some. That like the whole Chris Rock impersonation. The idea is that sometimes a man being a man is for his benefit first and foremost, and something like Sister Mel was talking about, something that you can only get from other men. Because I think a lot of times people enter relationships, for the most part, just speaking from a man's perspective, as a man, we need to know what it is that we want before we enter into a relationship.
Agreed.
A lot of times brothers spend so much time in pursuit of what it is that they desire that they don't spend enough time alone so they can really learn themselves and really get into who they are as an individual, and then say, okay, this is what I require for myself, so this is what I require from my mate or my complement. Right. So a lot of times we don't really know that, and we get into a relationship like, oh, well, this is what I want because she's fine, and then we get with her, and then we started saying, well, these are the other things that I want. We don't know what to say, what we want right up front. So it'd be like 6 months down the line, and we say, well, this is what I want. You didn't say that 6 months ago. You understand what I'm saying? So I think it's very important. We need to know what it is that we want.
So we got a question that came in from a loyal listener, Mr. Chairman. He wants to know, does Milwaukee being a wax city make dating hard?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't think it does.
Yes.
I don't think it does. I went on a date a couple of months ago, and we went to paint pottery. And people was like, wait, we got something like that in Milwaukee? And it was, I had fun. It was romantic. It was cheap. It was simple, but it was like unique. It was something different. Like there's so much to do in Milwaukee. Well, you know. We ain't gonna do no name dropping, but you know. Nah. But I mean, it's plenty stuff to do in the city of Milwaukee. Like, I hate when people say there's nothing to do in the city. No.
I don't think so much it was the alluding to that there's nothing to do in the city. I think something that we've been talking about is when we look at the city of Milwaukee, and for me, walking around and just seeing people, there's a lost sense of hope And so when you have people around here who are, you know, we have individuals who are trying to build and we're trying to get somewhere, but when you can't even find people who are looking to just have some ambition, have some goals, and move, you know, move forward, what are you trying to do? What are we trying to do together? That makes it difficult to date, because you can already sense people auras when they come to you. You like, this ain't, they ain't gonna work. Because you're not, you know, a lot of times we talk about, if you're not on what I'm on, why do I need to waste my time?
Well, then we have to define what dating is, because some people date for fun and for sport. Some people date to actually be in a relationship. Some people date because they are searching for a compliment or think they found that compliment. So we, like you said, absolutely, why are we dating? Why are we even doing this? Because if we just dating to have fun, we can go to the club to have fun. If we ain't on liberation, if we ain't on, you know what I mean, elevating ourselves and elevating our people, it's a million things to do in the city of Milwaukee. A million different things. If you're trying to elevate yourself and find your compliment, you need to come get down with ABE. You know what I mean? Like,
they should anyway.
It's things to do. You should do that anyways, even if you're single and lonely. But you know,
Whoa!
Shout out to all the single people.
I do not think there's a million and one things to do in Milwaukee.
Yes, for people that ain't on nothing, we gotta
please. Okay, maybe that'll be that top 10. Water Street, really?
Go to Water Street.
Really?
Go downtown Milwaukee. How many clubs they?
Productive.
We're not talking about being productive. We just talking about stuff to do.
All right. I mean, and I'm gonna say this. As far as choosing a mate, when you get up in your degrees, as I am in your age, and you find yourself wanting to choose a mate, you got to be conscious about what it is that you want from the other person, what it is they bring into your life, and if you're gonna have children, and if you're gonna raise your children a certain way, you got to be conscious of, you may be on a totally different page or in a totally different book, if you will. And just speaking as the co-program manager of the Sankofa Study Circle, and reading complementarity, you have to understand, first and foremost, that we live in a very oppressive society. And you have to understand the damage that white supremacy does to our relationships as a whole, and getting back to the point that the couple is the bedrock of the nation, and understanding that fact and building from that standpoint, and not just saying, well, we're gonna be cool, we're gonna be together for like a few months or a few weeks or so on and so forth. Understanding what it is that you two are gonna bring to one another, and how is it that you're both gonna assist each other towards liberation, if that's what you want. And if that's not what you're on, then why are you wasting your time? We only have so much time. Like the Mr. Chairman always states, that you can only do this once. Or YOLO is the phrase, I guess. You only live once.
Yeah.
That you can only live this life one time. You can't go back and be young again or be a teenager again, etc. So you have to understand why you are getting together with someone before you get with them. And that goes back to knowing who you are and knowing yourself, and then choosing your mates for the right reasons. So I just want to add that on.
An ABE member, I just want to put this out here because I think this is super legitimate. He just texted me and said, people don't look for cultured activities, which are prevalent in Milwaukee. Thus, this has people feeling like this city is bad. Our mentality as a whole needs to be changed, which then affects our approach toward family building. Not to mention, men here are used to being given what they want by many women in the city. So when a strong woman comes along, they shy away.
Okay, that was a lot. Hold on, that was a lot.
So basically, he's saying living in the city is what you make of it. If you out here looking for righteousness, you're gonna find righteousness. If you're out here looking for liberating things to do and liberation work, that's what you're gonna find.
Can I have the person's name?
I don't know. I have to see if he wants his name. You know.
So the assumption is that what area you're in, then that's what you're gonna find. Is
I guess so. Someone else is willing to just give it up. I guess he's saying that because there are so many easy women in Milwaukee.
Excuse me?
This is what I'm reading, and I apologize if I'm misquoting. Because there are so many easy women in Milwaukee, when a strong woman comes along, they shy away since someone else is willing to just give it up.
Oh, so you're saying, so we make it a, you know what, I've actually heard this before. Like, so I guess they're saying if men are already receiving something that's so easily and don't have to work for it, why would I work for something good if I got something easy coming?
That's their fault, though.
Whose fault is this, Supreme?
Personally, I think it's brothers' fault. We need more sexual discipline. I'm gonna just say it like that. We need more sexual discipline than we have. And if women are giving it up so easy, it's easy to say no. Just decline it and then search for more within that relationship. I think it's up to us. I think everything that goes down for the most part in a relationship is up to whether or not the brother says no or not. I think we need more sexual discipline, and if women giving it up so easy, that make it easy for a brother. No.
But if we go back to complementarity, I think you can't put all the onus on men. Like women also too, sisters who are out there, for lack of a better term, being ratchet and putting it out there, it all works for each other. So it's not just, men got to do this. We, as Rashida alluded to earlier, where women go and having that control or whatever it is, the men will follow. So it's a little bit of a balance going back and forth. One thing that I kind of wanted to get back to a little bit, Supreme had talked about the term YOLO.
Well, y'all getting several texts right now. Like my phone is blowing up about YOLO.
I kind of want to go to this YOLO piece. What is it? Drake that came out with that song.
Yeah.
The motto. What does that mean to y'all? What does that mean for ABE? What does it mean to Supreme, Rashida?
I don't want to speak. Okay, that was Jamal who said that, and he said he doesn't mind if we tell his identity. So shout out to Jamal.
Shout out to Jamal for listening.
Hey, Jamal.
Peace, homie. What's happening?
YOLO, I don't know. I think YOLO to me is stupid when Drake says it, because it's like you only live once, so get drunk, go blow off all your money, go have sex with a whole bunch of different people, and do everything reckless to shorten your life as much as possible. Now, what YOLO means for me is you only live once, so you need to live every day and take advantage of it and take it for what it is. Now, I can't speak for ABE, but for Rashida, I don't live by Drake's YOLO. I live by YOLO, meaning don't be healthy, eat healthy, don't drink, don't do all of those, not knocking anybody who does, but for me, like, don't do all those things that could possibly shorten your life.
Brother Preem?
You only live once. You only live once. This is the thing. You only have so many years on this planet that you got to do what you have to do. And I think it's important that talking about our connection to our ancestors and our connection to those who come after us, you have a short period of time where you have to connect your past to your future. Yeah. And you are a continuation of what has already been.
Right.
What's been and what's going to be. You're just a continuation. This is your period of time that you're doing what it is that you have to do. So really, it's your job to connect your past, your ancestors, to those who are going to come after you. And it's important that you do everything within your power to make sure that connection is strong. And you only have one shot to do it. It's a one-shot deal. So either you're doing that or you're not doing that.
Okay.
That's what I look at. In whatever myriad of ways it's done, that's how I see it.
Should we go to the text questions that are coming through, Rashida?
I got one comment from Monique. So Monique, she said she disagreed. I think she was saying that she disagrees about the women being easy thing, but I'm not sure. She says, I think the pool of black people in Milwaukee is just too small, too limited, too constricting. The spectrum is small. So we are either conscious or not. You're either with this clique or you're not. You either someone I dated or you're not. Ooh. I think Milwaukee is a matrix. We're stuck and we stay trying to make a mansion out of a mousetrap. Booyah. I agree, Mo. Shout out to Monique. And Jamal. Oh, my goodness. I don't never hear from these people this much. Hey, y'all. Hey, all of y'all.
And, we'll keep the conversation going about available either men or women in Milwaukee for the next 5 minutes and jump into some more controversial conversations.
Are we going to talk about religion? I think we should.
Hold on. There's a text that I got that I think is worth mentioning. Why women mess with men with no jobs, money, and be musty?
Hey, me and Sim was talking about dudes that be musty just last night. And, like, as a woman, how
they stay having compliments.
And they stay having relationships. But how do you not, as a woman, how do you talk to your man without him getting offended? For me, I'm not going to baby you through that. If your body odor is bad, I'm just going to tell you. But I know women that's with dudes who know they dude's body odor is off the chain and don't say nothing. And be all in the public eye.
I don't get it.
I don't know. As far as no jobs, I don't date.
Oop,
I don't date nobody that ain't got no job. I don't date nobody that don't smell good.
I think a point we brought up last night with Preem and playing games, and it does take into account like what age, what period of your life that you're at. You know, if you're 16 and 17 and you're looking for a date and whatever, okay, the person might not have a job. I get that. That's okay. But when you know, might in your later 30s and 40s, you're probably gonna say, you know what, you should be working. You know, you have different, as we get older and as we grow up, different standards, different requirements, different needs come and go. So
who's setting those standards though? Are we setting the standards of how we choose our mate from a very white perspective or white supremacist perspective, or is it an African-centered perspective? I mean, because some of the things shouldn't even gel. If you're African-centered, some things shouldn't gel with how you're choosing a mate.
Can we get some examples?
Oh, from my perspective?
Yeah.
Okay, so if someone doesn't have a quote-unquote job per se, however, they have a very, very good, lucrative hustle that allows them to bring in money into their household, are they no good because they ain't got a job? They don't get up and go to somebody's job every day? Right. Or... So they don't go to, I'm laughing at you. They don't get up and go to somebody's job every day, or they have different type of business-minded people, or somebody's like real grown and they still live with their mother, but they have a whole thing where I don't leave my house until I'm ready to choose a mate, et cetera, et cetera. There's some societies in which you never leave your house until you have a mate. So what are our standards of what are our standards of choosing a mate? Are they European standards? Are they Western standards?
Not mine.
Whose standards are we choosing? Whose standards are we using, rather?
And I guess what are African-centered standards for a mate? I think we read complementarity and we have an understanding of what that means and what we're seeing. But you know, people are quick to be like very materialistic and say you have to have this job, you have to have this car, you have to have this degree. And you know, Sister Mo brought up a good point talking about, you know, you expect this black males to have a job, but the jobless rate in Milwaukee for black males is up to what, near 50%? Mm-hmm. So is that a reflection of that individual, or is that a reflection of the environment that he is in?
If I see a man that has potential, and I see enough
you
in
said
that
potential.
man, if I see a man who I feel is my compliment, and fam ain't got a job, it's like, look, fam, we got to get up, we got to get a hustle, we got to get a job. We don't have to go work for the man, but we need to be some entrepreneurs. We need to go talk to Brother Earl. We need to get a part-time job at Personality until you find something else. Shout out to Personality. But we need to do something because we cannot successfully contribute to a household, do liberation. Economics is important. You can say what you want to say, but economics is important. I'm not with my man because he has money. I'm with my man because he has a vision for the money that he has.
Ooh.
I just want to switch gears real quick, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to switch gears.
Sexy voice. Sexy voice.
No. Shout out to the chairman, Ian Biddle, and the chief of staff, Mo Liston. They keep texting and sending credit. That's why people keep laughing in here, because we keep getting messages from them.
We get more people too.
Right. Also, I want to say shout out to Anoa too, because I know she's somewhere near Mo, out in D.C. I know they like, you know, the yin and yang, they always together when they're out there, and she speaks very highly of her, so I know she's somewhere nearby. So shout out to Anoa as well. And I want to, when it comes to raising children, because I know you spoke about your compliment, Rashida, and what he might look like, etc. When it comes to when it comes to raising your children and giving them certain values, etc., what role does religion or lack of religion or culture or any of that play into that process?
A huge role, because what you believe religiously, spiritually, what your faith base is, it shapes the person that you are. Period. If you're a Christian and you're a Christian that actually follows Christianity the way you're supposed to, it shapes the person that you are. It shapes your everyday life. It shapes the way you treat people. It shapes the visions that you see. It shapes your views on homosexuality. It shapes your views on whatever. For me, I go to church every Sunday, and then I go to the mosque as soon as I leave church. And that's because I don't practice organized religion. I believe in a higher power. I'm researching religion. I'm taking what I can from it, but for the most part, that's still an ongoing thing for me. What is religion? Why do we have it? Why does it exist? And we know why it exist for some point. But my compliment understands that because he's at church and he's at the mosque with me. Because we have that shared thing. I think if he was a diehard Christian and Jesus, there's no way that we could work out. There's no way that we could work out at all. Because you gotta make me understand why, like how does that even work? So, I don't know, I think it plays a huge role in successful black male and female relationships.
So here's a question that I'll throw out. Can religion and liberation work together?
Yeah.
Do they go hand in hand?
Yeah.
Crickets.
I think so. No, I said yes. I think so. Religion is where the money is at. Religion is where the money is at. So if I don't want anything else from religion, I want to know what I need to do to be getting all that money that y'all getting. How y'all getting that revenue? And I mean, we know how y'all getting it. I don't want to say too much. I don't know how controversial we're allowed to be on this show. Because I have my views and opinions.
Exactly. It's ABE, and do understand that, you know, we're going through, like you said, you're going through your process of understanding, going from the church to the mosque. So everyone has their process and views of religion. So we're definitely going back and forth in our personal views of what things are. I think one of the biggest things when we talk about religion, and I guess I'll be the person to throw this out there, you look at black churches and who are we worshiping to? You know, who are we look to or taught to believe in? And you know, we have many of us, we joke about this. We always be like, oh, praise white Jesus or praise black Jesus, but that has a part in our continual. But it's true, that has a part of our continual oppression when, you know, we've kind of been taught and trained to just kind of pray and wait.
Praying away instead of praying work.
And praying and work.
And they go hand in hand. And that's why I'm saying God helps those who helps themselves. God is not going to help the person that sits and prays and then waits for God to do something. My God, at least, I'm speaking on mine, the one I serve and believe in and worship. It doesn't work like that. You have to pray and you have to work and you have to show why you're deserving of the things that you're praying for. Because, I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. Somebody texted in and said religion should not play a role. Spirituality should. It's all about relationship with the deity instead of organized religion. I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with that. Prim, you got something to say?
Not really.
I really want you to speak on religion.
I often shy away from speaking about, oh, here come the motorcycle gang. I often shy away from speaking about religion because people hold it to their heart very closely. And me being a 5%er, a loyal and very enthusiastic member of the Nation of Gods and Earths, well, we teach that there is no mystery God. And if I go to someone and say, and I just straight start up, I don't want to use profanity, so I start dookying on their idea of religion and God, etc., it's going to cause drama. It always has. It always has. And when I was young and I first got knowledge of self, that's what I did. I was like, oh, you religious? I'm just going to duke you on everything you got to say about anything and rah. That's what I did. However, I tried to meet people where they are and understand the perspective of where they're coming from, and knowing that in this country, everybody who claims a religion or talks about spirituality and God for the most part are either are Christian or Christian by default. And so, or Christianity affects their way in some way, shape, or form. So I more than likely for myself, I'm going to meet a person who has a one being that they think is supreme and superior over them, etc., rather than someone who's not. Yeah, no pun intended, I guess. Rather than someone who's not. So my thing when I was younger was like, man, I got to meet a sister who don't believe in no mystery God. She don't believe in no mystery God. And I'm like, you're not going to meet that kind of woman, especially here in this part of the planet. Or if you go to another part of the planet, it may be the religion of Islam that they deal with more so than Christianity. Go ahead.
Supreme, can I ask you a question? What's the role of the nation of gods and Earths on religion? Hold on, let me re-say that.
You asking me?
Yeah.
Who's asking me?
But can you explain that? I think that's something that, you know, not a lot of us know. So if you could explain that.
What is the role of the Nation of Gods and Earth on religion?
What are the Nation of Gods and Earth?
You said, what is the role of the Nation of Gods and Earth on religion? That's what I read.
Yeah.
We don't have a role in religion as it relates to the idea of religion or worshiping some God. We won't even call ourselves a religion. We're a group of people who have a natural way of life, a culture. And I think you'd have to get into how we define religion, because many people, if you speak of God in any way, shape, or form, you're a religion. We don't even identify ourselves as a religion. We're a group of people who share a way of life, and we don't believe in a mysterious God.
I feel you. Thanks for that. I just got a comment
on liberation. Then.
Well, before we go there, I just got to comment one thing. And when Preem talked about, you're going to meet most people where Christianity plays a role in most people's lives, and I think there's a interesting conversation we could get to. But after we talk about what Rasheed's going to talk about, Christianity, there's a lot of privileges that comes when you're a Christian, quote unquote. And so we can come back to that, because I think some people consciously or subconsciously just participate in this because of the privilege that are given to them for being, Christians, quote unquote. One thing that I just got in, that most people don't view Christianity as religion, but a way of life. So that was a comment. And then actually, before we go back on that, can you explain what 5%ers are?
Can I?
Yeah.
Sure. All right. To go into a brief history, because we could spend a whole hour just on my nation. Our father, who was in the Nation of Islam for 3.5 years, left the mosque in 1964 and started teaching young brothers on the streets. He was actually in the mosque, and he started identifying with some of the lessons. And when I say the mosque, I mean the Nation of Islam. He started identifying some of the lessons that were talking about who the original man was and who the supreme of all being was. And he started identifying and looking at himself in the mirror, saying, I'm talking about myself. So we started teaching that within the mosque and some of the classes, et cetera, et cetera. And individuals came up to him and say, brother, you can't teach that here. We know that's you. We know you, Allah. We bear witness. However, you can't teach that here. He said, fine, I'll leave. So he left. He left the Nation of Islam, and he started teaching young brothers on a corner in the streets. I actually went to these high organizations at first, and then he was like, nah, it's not for them. I got to take it to the babies. So we started teaching. He taught 9 young men, and from those 9 young men, he taught supreme math. He developed supreme mathematics, the supreme alphabet. It's a system of the principles of the numbers 1 and 9 and 0, and also A through Z, in which we use to understand and break down anything we come into contact with. So, like even today being the 2nd, it's the wisdom day, because 1 is knowledge, 2 is wisdom, 3 is understanding, and wisdom means wise words, ways, and actions that you speak based upon the information that you have. So we've influenced a lot of things, such as hip hop and such as a lot of urban lifestyle, etc. We started in 1964, and we're still going strong. What's wrong? We started in 1964, and we're still going strong. We bear witness that the men are the gods and the women are our earths, and we cherish our earths very much. And some of the most gangster individuals in our nation are actually our women. I've actually seen some of them step to people like, "Look, what is you doing? What is you doing? Is you doing this or you doing that?" So it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to see the True and Living Earth doing a thing. Shout out to all the 5%ers all around, listening everywhere. So peace to y'all. Is there a specific question? Because I could just go on and ramble.
We gonna bring it back. I think one thing I wanted to point on, because everyone tends to shy away from the conversation of religion for the simple fact, somebody might be offended. You don't know what's gonna push somebody. But for myself, I think that a lot of times people tend to become uncomfortable because, and I'll even say it for myself, a gift and a curse that my parents gave me, I was raised in the church. But however, I didn't come to know God on my own, instead of just being put on, instead of being on you. So I think when people get uncomfortable because they don't question it themselves, and I think that's one of the greatest things to do, is to question your faith. Where is this coming for yourself? Not because, grandma and granddad and mom and dad, you've seen this for so much, so it's just been a process. We've been conditioned in a certain way, but something as intimate as your religion, your faith, that is something that you should come to and understand on your own, and what that means and how is that influencing you in everyday, in your everyday life, and how you're carrying yourself. Like, can you really relate to it? I think I had a story growing up when, you know, you see this face of what this Jesus is, and I'm looking at, wait a minute, that don't look like me. Like, why am I praying to this image, but yet that doesn't look like me, that doesn't feel like me? You know, there's all these discrepancies. So it's not to make people feel uncomfortable or make people feel, you know, well, y'all not about, we don't love God and all this other stuff, but in every sense of the word and living in this path and what we're doing, you have to challenge yourself.
Clarification.
You know, you have to challenge yourself. You have to move beyond just this comfortable area of just being there and being, you know, people just putting into you. You have to put out and that stuff too. So.
Okay. We moving around quite a bit, and I hope everybody is keeping up. Somebody wants to know. To get back to the relationship piece, can a hoe be turned into a housewife?
I hope HOE isn't a curse word.
I apologize. Whore. Sorry, my bad. Comments? I want Supreme to answer.
I feel like this was in a song somewhere.
Why do you want me to answer? All right.
Because you're a man.
All right. First and foremost, for me, I made a conscious effort to stop using the word hoe, especially when it related to women, because it's really a very patriarchal and oppressive word to describe a woman. And if you're describing a woman and her actions, there's probably more that you could have said. You probably could explain the situation better than just by dismissing her as a hoe. So I made a conscious effort to not use the word in that way, because I mean, you may be describing her sexual activity. However, how many of us as men have similar sexual activity?
Because why is it never can a whore be turned into a house husband? It's
right.
Always, you know what I mean? And I feel like I know dudes that just, okay.
Well, I mean, and the question of can a hoe be a housewife? I think it's really up to the decision of the individual. And if we're looking at a woman, it's really up to her decision and what it is that she desires to do. Now, there are definitely women who have a lack of sexual discipline, and if she has a lack of sexual discipline, that's something that she needs to deal with on her own, and that's not something that necessarily being with me or anybody else in a relationship is necessarily going to cure, unless you're dealing with the issue itself. So whether or not she wants to, I don't know. I don't even know if housewife is even a proper term to be using. However, if she wants to, let's say, be in a healthy relationship with a man, if that's what she chooses to do, then if she is a so-called hoe, that's something that she needs to deal with on her own, absent of being in a relationship with him.
Oh, we just got this comment that is really good. It said, you know, it's an interesting question whether a hoe can be turned into a housewife, but women are expected to wait for men to get over their hoe phase, so when they're ready to settle down. I think that's a very valid point. Valid point.
Listen, we should move on to the next question. We're going to move on to the next question. Oh, my God.
We got a lot coming in. I'm going to shout out, we getting people walking by and waving to us, so thanks to those people who was waving to us. That's great.
Why do people worship a white Jesus?
And yeah, we're definitely just freestyling, going back and forth, jumping around. So, what we got, Rashida?
It says, why do people worship a white Jesus? I mean, that's tradition. That's what they were taught to do, and it's been passed on from generation to generation. And you go in somebody's grandma's house, and that's what you see. You see a picture of that, and
see, I would be careful to say that's tradition.
Well,
To think that those who created that image was not. If their intent was to keep this oppressed of this images and what this is and give us the money and things of that nature, so I'll be careful to say it's a tradition, but more of a. Well, I'm sorry, it's getting loud back here.
Norm. I don't even want to say norm.
It's not a norm. It's something that's safe. You know, you don't question it. We've been taught not to question your faith and religion and stuff like that. So if someone said this picture is it, that's what it is. And that's another way of controlling and keeping oppressed people there. So to say, don't question me. This is what I'm giving you. So take it. So when you think about that, so when people are praising or looking at this white Jesus, who is this powerful, all whatever person, of course you're going to go out to the streets and if you see a white guy, you're going to think he got more power than you. Possibly, I don't, but some do. Apparently, we got a new new message in because Rashida can't stand up.
Next time we do this, I'm turning my phone off. Last 5 minutes, y'all, because we do have to wrap it up.
Right.
We want to make sure we get to our top 10 for the week. Ooh, I love the revolutionary ratchet.
What we're gonna do for top 10? There's so many ideas. Oh, we had some ratchet news today that R. Kelly is gonna be, and I think this is a continuation from from last week's. R. Kelly is gonna be writing a book on the Trapped in the Closet. I made a comment that he ain't writing a book because he could barely read, but that was just me. So.
R. Kelly is a musical genius.
Said Supreme.
No, actually, Cornel West said that.
Did he?
Yeah. When he was talking about, someone made talking about R. Kelly. How can you say this and that? He's not this, that, and third. And Cornel West talked about he's a musical genius. He had his issues just like Coltrane had his issues with heroin. So he made a comparison.
Deep, yo.
Y'all know y'all been dancing to R. Kelly songs. Don't try to play him like that. Especially Rashida.
That was before my time.
Rashida's got it. Mel's got it. Monique's got it. Got that vibe.
So every week now the men just gonna sing us out? Like, is this becoming a tradition for ABE Radio?
Do you mind if I stroke you up? I don't mind.
Wow. That just happened.
I'm trying to think of a good top 10 to end with. I don't want to do R. Kelly. God.
Hey, I got it.
You got one? The top 10 hustles. Didn't we say we was going to do the top 10 hustles?
Okay, cool. Because this is the thing. R. Kelly is making these Trapped in the Closet. He's going to do a musical, and he's going to do like an Oscar-nominated show or something like that. He's writing a book, and he's going to do a musical. Basically, R. Kelly is doing this because he's hustling. We know and understand that he's hustling. So, what are the top 10 hustles R. Kelly should do, or the top 10 hustles that are better than R. Kelly making a Trapped in the Closet book and stage show?
Selling socks.
Selling socks, one.
I said it.
That R. Kelly could do what
that anybody could do other than well, R. Kelly should do them too since they so good. That anybody could do. Top 10 hustles. Selling socks is one.
Selling bootlegged DVDs.
Water bottles.
Selling bootlegged DVDs, water bottles.
Yeah.
Oh, we just got good.
Oh, parking permits and year stickers.
What?
For the license plates. For sure. They sell them all the time. The overnight parking permits and the year stickers. Yeah.
Wow. That's 4. 5. What's number 5?
Why y'all all looking at me like?
Did we say selling white T-shirts?
Oh, selling white tees. Number 5. Number 6.
We got a couple top 10 suggestions.
Well, let's go through this. So we on 6.
Hustles. Selling bootleg Air Force Ones. Bootleg Dookies.
Oh, the bootleg Dookies. Yeah.
7.
Dang, man. What else do people hustle? Oh, never mind.
Just say it. Come on, just say it.
You know them the leather big earrings that like everybody be selling and making?
Yes. The leather big earring. Yes, that's a lucrative hustle.
With feathers and all that.
And all that. Oh. Yes. That's 8. We need 2 more.
Let's think about this. Hustles.
Hustles. Top 10 hustles.
Oh, I see.
Oh, God.
Victoria said pumping people's gas at gas stations. That's 9.
Who said that?
Vicky.
Oh, shout out to Vic.
Sankofa, study circle.
One more.
One more
good one, though.
Number 10.
Who got it?
Top 10 hustles. No, we said bootleg DVDs already?
I said that,
You
yeah.
said bootleg DVDs already? One more.
I can't think of anything.
One more hustle. Doing hair.
Oh.
Doing hair out of your living room, or going to people's house to do their hair.
Okay, and that could be hair cutting too, right?
Yeah, cutting hair, doing hair, cutting hair.
Ooh, and tats. Tats should have been on there too.
Oh yeah.
Everybody a tat man.
Yeah. That's one of them didn't make the list. A good one.
Shout out to the hustlers. All right, family. It's 8:50. It's about that time. just want to say we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We had a lot of fun. We miss Mo and Ian, but we hope that we did them proud, as well as all of the ABE family. I'm sure they're somewhere smiling. Don't forget to check us out tomorrow night at our Feed the People meeting, 6 p.m. Urban Underground, 4850 West Fond du Lac. We'd love to see your face in the place. Any last minute comments y'all want to put out there?
Go ahead, because
No, Ian just texted me and asked me why I won't watch Mo Better Blues with a lady friend.
Why won't you?
we will have to find out next time. Stay tuned next week when Supreme explains
talks about
why he won't watch Mo Better Blues with women.
And next week's top 10 will be top 10 classic hood movies, thanks to Monique. So y'all look forward to that. Hood black movie classics. All right?
Blackula.
So for ABE, this is Rashida Butler, Preemie, and Mel, and we are signing out. Love, peace, and soul or hair grease.
Peace, people.
Okay.
We can't
Love,
find
peace,
the
and
music.
soul. Okay. Hey, yo.
That's how we do. Freestyle.